Hello YouTube! Flashlight Enthusiast here. This is the Nextorch TA30D Max, one of my favorite tactical flashlights. It has powerful Cree XHP 50.3 high-intensity LED in orange pale reflector with striking bezel, nice aluminum body with matte finish anodization, and what is best is their magnetic selector for different modes, and in any mode you have dual switch designed for instant access to turbo and strobe. Now, they released the TA30D Max with the same functions, same design, however much more powerful LED in 9-core design, which gives this already great design a greater punch. I got this flashlight directly from Neil's Gadgets, so if you are interested, make sure to check out the link below this video and a special coupon code for our community. TA30D Max come in this Nextorch box with flashlight picture as well as some marketing information. Here there are some stats and there are more stats at the back, definitely convenient information. Be careful with opening though. Inside the box you will find the Nextorch TA30D Max with already attached tactical ring, a separate black-coated aluminum pocket clip, some warnings, a user manual, USB to USB-C charging cable, and last but not least a wrist lanyard. While I do appreciate the pre-attached tactical ring that gives you a ton of different possibilities and control over the flashlight, it makes it quite bulky, so if you don't need that, I recommend you using a pocket clip. Just unscrew the tail cap, remove the ring, now there is this simple groove and you pre-attach your pocket clip. If you do it correctly, it should slide beneath the tail cap and now it is secure and locked out. And this design of this flashlight is really plain and simple. We've got this really nice matte anodization with slightly glossy finish. Everything is just well polished and this flashlight is so smooth and pleasant to your hand. Feels truly premium. We've got this stainless steel black coated pocket clip that we just attached with lanyard attachment right here. We've got stainless steel bezel with nano ceramic beads for glass breaking, nice purplish anti-reflective coating with orange pale reflector down there, and this 9-core Chinese LED. I can already spot one single black dot unfortunately here. Make sure you don't spot any burning of LED over time. We've got the marking of ultra thermal buffer here, we'll see about that later, and the functional magnetic ring selector here with the switch accessing turbo and strobe mode anytime. Please notice this between the TA30C we've got a change in the tail cap design, so while the older model could tail stand, now with the newer model you don't have that ability. Inside the flashlight you will find really nice quality gold-plated spring and contacts, unanodized, well-lubricated threads from the factory with O-ring as well as included battery. This is a 4800 mAh battery in 21700 cell format, and there is the USB-C charging port in the positive pole of the battery. When you plug it in, there is the red indicator indicating charging and the blue one when the charging has been finished after around 2 hours and 50 minutes. And while there is a spring down there, and theoretically you could use unprotected shorter batteries, as the spring is quite short there might be some contact problems. Everything works fine, but with some shock recoil the contact can break. So my advice, use the included battery or at least long enough design. Surprisingly, this time battery goes the minus pole towards the head, however there are indicators minus and plus on the battery tube, so you don't get confused. And while there are unanodized threads, there is a dual tube design, so if you loosen the tail cap slightly, the lockout mode is possible. You can expect around 240 grams or 8.6 ounces, which is slightly higher compared to older model, slightly heavier compared to AceBeam P17 Defender, and also heavier than the recently reviewed Doberman Pro Max from Armitech. The UI is really plain and simple. We've got a tactical mode here, so the flashlight is off, however when you lightly press the switch you've got the access to turbo output, and when you fully press and hold there is a strobe mode. When you release the switch the flashlight goes off. Here something new, there is a lockout mode, so the flashlight is off and whatever you press the flashlight is locked out, but now you can move to the first mode, so this is the lowest output, and from this you can move to the medium output and then to the left to the highest output. Whichever mode you choose, low, medium or high, there is also a possibility to lightly press it to get to the turbo output anytime and strongly press it to have a strobe mode. When you depress the switch it returns to the mode you selected with the magnetic ring, which is quite convenient and easy to understand. There is also a battery indicator here under this main switch with 4 different patterns. While adding a blockout mode in the user interface is a great idea in my view, I am missing the strobe mode in the rotary switch as it was in the TA30D Max. This time you have to hold the tactical switch all the way down to have a strobe mode constant on, and if you depress it for an instant moment the flashlight turns off, while in the older model you just had to select it from the magnetic ring. In my personal opinion, the anodization on the older model looked quite better, but that's just my taste. But you can definitely tell that the striking bezel on the newer model is much more robust. Here are my lumen measurements of the TA30D Max. If you need more time, feel free to pause the video. So for the TA30D Max we've got around 4000 lumen at start measured and around 4500 lumens at 30-second mark before a step down over the course of 2.5 minutes to around 1215 lumens, and the flashlight body actually achieved 45 degrees Celsius. This flashlight features an efficient driver and flat output regulation, so you can expect around 1000 lumens sustainable output for around 2 hours and 46 minutes before turning off. For the medium mode we've got around 612 lumens at start and around 608 lumens sustainable with some minor output fluctuations, however still within the respectable manner, and a solid runtime of 5 hours before turning off, with flashlight body stabilizing at 39 degrees Celsius. If you compare this to older model the TA30D Max, we've got around 3240 lumens at start and around 879 lumens sustainable for 3 hours and 4 minutes before turning off. Medium mode is pretty similar with 531 lumens at start and 525 lumens sustainable for nearly 5 hours before turning off. And what is quite impressive is they managed to heat up this flashlight as the older model despite having much higher output. I managed to heat up both flashlights to around 45 to 50 degrees with manual turbo step down, so I guess their ultra thermal buffer technology works quite well. Nextorch names this LED as 9-core LED, looks quite similar to this night watch LEDs I have here. It is a cool white 70 CRI LED with quite nice white tint. Just pure cool white, and of course the beam pattern does pronounce some striking bezel artifacts, however nothing major here. Thanks to the domeless LED, the beam is definitely on the better side compared to some older cool white LEDs designs. And I think it becomes a standard in nowadays tactical flashlights to have a powerful domeless LED, and this Nextorch TA30D Max is not an exception. Overall, Nextorch TA30D Max confirms that great tactical design can actually be improved and made even better. We get same extremely well built flashlight with matte anodization and attention to every detail, with probably best UI on the market when it comes to tactical flashlights, with added lockout mode and much more powerful LED, without sacrificing the performance of the predecessor. As you've seen both in runtime graphs and in outdoor beamshots, this flashlight definitely performs without overheating the whole body, and somehow they managed to maintain similar performance and temperature despite increasing the brightness. And I will be still missing the strobe mode in the UI on the newer model, and the tail standing feature might be a deal breaker for some of you. Anyway, if you're looking for a tactical flashlight that is built like a tank and has this revolutionary UI with rotor ring, then definitely look no further than this Nextorch TA30C or D Max. You won't be disappointed. If you enjoyed the review, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button to support the algorithm and not to miss any future videos that I release. If you have any comments or personal questions, please leave them below this video. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.